Donna Bush with your CIG TV News Brief on this Tuesday. We begin with the latest on Tropical Storm Grace as it makes its way towards the Cayman Islands.
So Tropical Storm Grace has been moving along the north coast of Jamaica. Its location is now about 18.5 north, 77.5 west. That's about 25 miles east of Montego Bay. So in the next few hours, Tropical Storm Grace will have moved across Jamaica and will be back out into the open ocean. Okay, when we see information coming in at 4 p.m. this afternoon, we may not be necessarily that surprised, as we are expecting it to possibly show a little bit of weakness as it comes off the east coast, off the west coast of Jamaica, and then we're expecting it to re-strengthen as it moves towards the Cayman Islands. The latest forecast track that would have come out at 10 a.m. this morning has the system forecast to pass south of Grand Cayman, something like about 15 miles to the south of Georgetown. And it is expected to move across here as a fairly strong tropical storm and then become a hurricane as it moves west of the area. By the time it becomes a hurricane, tropical storm force winds are forecast to be ceasing at that time. Again, given how close it is, be aware that this thing is not constant. There has been, the track has changed quite a bit. The intensity is now showing some changes in it. And we are saying that out of caution in the sense that right now it's a tropical storm, but the latest predictions are for a stronger system coming across us. The question now is it going to remain a tropical storm, or will it strengthen to a hurricane? The latest forecast has that strengthening occurring after it passes west of Cayman. First of all, in Grand Cayman, a lot of the strong winds are going to be coming from the south and southwest direction. So the southerly coast right now is the focus of where we're thinking the worst of the wave action will be. But again, be aware that the forecast is not locked in and not set in stone, and so other coasts may be impacted as well. It would go from East End over in the southeast section of Grand Cayman all the way to the southwest coast in Georgetown. That's the winds and the seas, something in the order of about 10 to 12 feet on the sea heights. So based on the sea heights and what we got coming through, we're saying all marine traffic, anybody wanting to go take a dip in the sea, go take a snorkel or anything like that, you shut it down from this afternoon and get out of the waters until this system has passed. Now comes the interesting part, and that's the rainfall. The worst of the rainfall is going to come almost after the winds, okay? Our tropical storm force winds are forecast at this point to be ceasing tomorrow morning, but our heavy showers are forecast to go all the way till tomorrow evening, all right? And we're talking about 3 to 6 inches of rainfall with a max of up to about 9 inches of rainfall. So a lot of freshwater flooding is expected with this system, and people in those kind of areas need to take every caution.
That update there from the Weather Services Director General, John Tibbetts, earlier today. Meantime, residents are strongly encouraged to follow updates from reliable government sources such as Government Information Services, CIG Television, Radio Cayman, gov.ky, Prepared Cayman, caymanprepared.ky, and weather.gov.ky. Now, Premier the Honorable Wayne Panton spoke to the nation today about Grace. Here's an excerpt of what he said.
I know many of us have some anxiety about the approaching storm. This is a perfectly normal and understandable reaction. Today, I urge everyone to remain calm and be prepared. Preparation and caution are key to remaining safe. I would like to reassure you that the Cayman Islands government is fully prepared. The Cayman Islands Regiment has been deployed throughout the islands to provide any needed urgent assistance. Hazard Management Cayman Islands is in constant contact with Regional Disaster Management Organization, SEDEMA, as well as other British Overseas Territories should support be needed. Damage assessment teams are standing by to roll out across the islands once the all clear is given. Please follow some basic preparation practices to secure your own residence and property.
And you can find the Premier's entire message online on the CIG Television YouTube page, the Cayman Islands Government's Facebook page, and on gov.ky. Well, government officials and stakeholders have been meeting since Monday to prepare the opening of shelters and to ensure residents of the Cayman Islands are prepared should Grace continue to intensify. 7 shelters in Grand Cayman and 2 on the sister islands will open to residents at 5 p.m. on Tuesday.
The main thing, I guess, yesterday when we decided at the National Hazard Management Council briefing is that we were going to use this as Tropical Storm Grace as an exercise. I say exercise, obviously we knew that the tropical storm was coming. We now see sort of intensification and it becoming a bit closer to us. So actually it's a really good exercise. We've got the full activation this evening from 5 p.m. tonight. We did have another council briefing this morning, again with probably about 100 people in there, making sure that every aspect of what the government's doing and the private sector is ready to go for this. So both from a messaging standpoint, obviously public messaging is so critical at this time. 5 o'clock tonight, as I say, we were going to have the full activation of the National Emergency Operations Centre, which means we'll be located at Government Administration Building. There'll probably be about 50 people in the room at one time, and making sure that those 17 emergency support teams can actually do what they're set out to do. So we have a mandate for each one of them. And again, the cross-cutting and the collaboration between all those emergency support teams really comes together at times like this. And we have the utilities out there, we have mental health, we have voluntary agency responders, we have emergency responders, search and rescue, resource support. There's so many teams underneath the National Emergency Operations Centre banner that Hazard Management coordinates. Will all be activated tonight. And again, we have rotations over the next couple of days. So it's going to be a long couple of days ahead of us. Again, we're just really encouraging the public to make sure they are prepared for this. You appreciate tropical storms all look different, but there's a lot of rain coming, as Mr. John Tibbetts said, and we want to make sure that you're keeping off the roads, you're avoiding, acknowledging there's obviously going to be potholes, there's going to be debris in the roads. When you do go back on the roads tomorrow or the next day, if you can stay at home, please do stay at home. We'd love to stay at home. Unfortunately, we haven't got that luxury. So please do your part. Make sure that you're prepared. Make sure your supplies are in and ready to go. And again, acknowledge that this is just the start of a very long season ahead of us, and be ready for the entire season ahead.
Government officials and residents on the sister islands have been preparing for the crossing of Tropical Storm Grace. On the sister islands, businesses closed their doors early in preparation for the storm on Tuesday that is now predicted to be a Category 1 hurricane as it passes the Cayman Islands early Wednesday morning. The 3 Cayman Islands are expected to get lots of rainfall, as you heard earlier. Rough seas with wave heights of 10 to 12 feet expected, while all marine craft should remain in safe harbor as tropical storm force winds are expected from tonight. What is now Tropical Storm Grace has now so far been unpredictable in its movement, so residents are again strongly encouraged to follow updates from reliable government sources via Government Information Services, CIG Television, Radio Cayman, gov.ky, caymanprepared.ky, and weather.gov.ky. We will, of course, have the latest forecast for you now. Taking a look at our forecast for today, the high temperature reached 89 degrees, the low 77. Today there was a 30% chance of showers and partly cloudy skies becoming overcast with frequent thunderstorms by the afternoon over the sister islands and over Grand Cayman by this evening. Now showers again will be heavy at times, leading to flooding of low-lying areas. Winds are from the east to northeast, 15 to 20 knots during the day, becoming 30 to 35 knots with higher gusts by late tonight. Seas are moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet during the day, becoming rough with wave heights of 8 to 10 feet by tonight. A marine warning is in effect for boaters tonight. A reminder that you can find the latest on local weather conditions online at weather.gov.ky. That's it for today's news brief here on CIG Television. I'm Donna Bush, as always, thanking you for joining us and reminding you to stay tuned to all government channels for the latest on what is now Tropical Storm Grace. Be safe, everyone.